Hello and welcome to the Right to be Heard Town Hall. As UPA 2 completes its 4th year in power, we are joined today by the Congress's master strategist. They call him the Congress's Chanakya. Digvijaya Singh is joining us on the Right to be Heard Town Hall. Welcome. So we've got an anxious audience. They're all fired up, ready to ask you questions. It's great to have you with us on the show. This lady wants to ask the first question. Please go on.
Mr. Singh, with the quantum of scams that we read about every day and the involvement of senior ministers, is this the most corrupt government we've ever had?
Certainly not. Let me go back to 2004. From 2004 to 2009, I would put UPA 1 and UPA 2 together. The scams that you're talking of are 1, 2G, number 2, CWG, number 3, coal allocation of coal block allocation. Basically, these are 3 areas we are looking at. And 4th, also Pawan Bansal's nephew being caught. As far as 2G is concerned, let me explain. In 3G and 4G, auctions were held, no corruption charge. Even this A. Raja and Kanimodi, the amount is around about 250 to 260 crores. It's not 1,72,000 crores. Now, when the Supreme Court said that the licenses which were cancelled should be auctioned again, the figure that you got was not there.
So even if it's not a 1,72,000 crore rupees scam, even if it's just 250 crores, a scam is a scam.
Agreed. Again, scam is a scam, and therefore they were put in jail.
No, but it wasn't. No, but come back to our original question.
No, I think as a moderator, I can take one question at a time and one supplement at a time. What I've said is, those who were involved in corruption, they were sent to jail. The minister, the bureaucrat, the senior officers of the corporate sector. Tell me which government preceding this government has ever taken such strong action against these people.
But would you then claim that UPA 1 and 2 put together is relatively one of the cleanest governments we've ever had since independence?
Let me tell you one thing. With Right to Information Act, we have empowered the people to ask questions. Earlier, only the MLAs and MPs could ask the questions. Now, we have empowered 120 crore people of the country to ask questions and brought transparency to the system. And this is also one of the reasons why the scams have come up.
So you're saying it's because of the RTH?
I'm thankful to Digvijaya ji that he at least agreed today on air that there was a corruption, though there is a question mark on the quantum of corruption. Initially, let me also remind you that one of your ministers, none other than Kapil Sibal, had said that there was zero corruption. Today you say that it's 250 lakh crore corruption, not 1.76 lakh crore. But my question...
One second, let me correct you. Kapil Sibal has said zero loss, not zero corruption.
Anyhow, my question to you is, in spite of all this, the buck stopped at Kanimoji and A. Raja. When does the buck go and stop at the doorstep of the Prime Minister? A Prime Minister who is perennially misguided by the Council of Ministers, and as in the parrot in the cage case, we have seen that even the 2 joint secretaries, Mr. Shatrughan Sinha and Mr. Bhalla, who tweaked the whole report on behalf of the Prime Minister, even obliquely the Supreme Court had hinted, and you had to take on the Supreme Court, when will this buck stop at the Prime Minister doorstep, and when will the Prime Minister, whom I maintain as the most perennially misguided Prime Minister, step down? When will the power center number 1 nudge the power center number 2 to get out of the UPA competition?
You asked your question.
Number 1, there is no power center number 1 and there is no power center number 2. One second. The Prime Minister is handling the issues of governance. The Congress Party President Sonia Gandhi is handling the issues of organization. But this perception through media has gone, and because of the opposition, that there are 2 power centers. And this, unfortunately, the perception in this country has become greater reality than the reality by itself. As far as Dr. Manmohan Singh is concerned, he is an extremely honest person and he's a wise man, and globally his word is taken very seriously by all the global leaders today in the world.
But you are the one who fueled this by saying that this whole business of dual power structure is not good. You are the one who actually fueled that.
I have said that. But unfortunately, Rahul, people have picked it up of my about half an hour interview in NewsX. I have said that this perception, what I said, has become that there are dual power centers. And this dual power center analogy, this creates confusion in the mind of the people.
Okay, that young boy over there.
So scandals by scandals, corruption by corruption. Don't you think Prime Minister has shrunk to a great extent? So why doesn't he resign?
Well, there is no involvement of the Prime Minister in any scandal or a scam or a corruption whatsoever. So why should he resign?
So then why doesn't the Prime Minister ever speak up?
Well, he has spoken up whenever the need arose.
When did no? So the need hasn't arisen recently.
Of course, it
There have
has. Every time he addresses a press conference, he speaks out.
When was the last time he addressed the press?
Probably when he was coming back from a foreign country.
No, but last time when he came back from a foreign country, he didn't address the press because there were so many charges at that time. No, but let's take forward what the girl is asking. Do you think the Prime Minister speaks enough, Mr. Digvijaya?
Well, every politician has got his own style of functioning. But you people charge me that I speak too much. So there has to be some kind of a leveling off that some people talk less.
But you're dodging the question. You're dodging the question. As Prime Minister, as leader of our country, do you think Manmohan Singh speaks enough?
Well, I think any Prime Minister must relate to the people.
Does Manmohan Singh relate to the people?
And he does whenever the occasion arises.
No, but the occasion arises very frequently. He doesn't step up. He's always hidden behind Seven Discourse Road.
He has formed a group of ministers to deal with on these issues, and you would also see, and you will bear me out, that on every occasion, on every issue, there is an official spokesperson who comes out with the official statement of the government.
Manmohan Singh to be a leader, because leader is the one who speaks and takes the people along with him. Not he forms the council and the council are the ones who take talks on his behalf.
And he forms group of ministers.
Yeah, that group of ministers, like it's a democracy, it's a constitution which terms that we need to have a group of minister because we are not a communist state. But as a leader, he should come in front. The issues happen with Pakistan, China. He has not given a single speech being aggressive or being pacifying the movement. His minister speaking on his part, Salman Khurshid is saying something else, some other minister saying something else. Why there's no sync in Congress and why Manmohan Singh can't take a step, why always the high command is termed, why Sonia Gandhi is always in the picture, not Manmohan Singh.
Well, a Prime Minister in any democracy is first among the equals. And on issues of Pakistan and issues of China, the government has come out with a statement whenever the time came. So on issues which have to be dealt sensitively. It can't be dealt through public speeches. It can't be dealt through media or public declaration. It has to be handled sensitively. You must understand that both are nuclear powers, Pakistan and China. And therefore, issues concerning Pakistan and China and even Bangladesh or Nepal or Sri Lanka, there are natural neighbors. It is so ordained that we have to live in peace together.
Is it not hypocritical on your part that on the one hand you are showing your annoyance against Supreme Court for calling CBI as a case parrot? On the other hand, you are not at all bothered about Ashwini Kumar, who was your earlier law minister, senior officials in coal ministry, PMO, sitting together with CBI director and changing the heart of the Colgate report to protect Prime Minister. You are not at all bothered about senior most law officers of the government indulging in falsehood, trying to mislead the Supreme Court. You are not at all bothered about unprofessional conduct of your current CBI director. He has already given clean chit to Pawan Bansal when investigations against him are already underway.
Okay, you've asked questions, let him answer.
Now, in all humility, I would like to bring to your notice that I am not angry with Supreme Court. I am a person who has always held the judiciary in the highest esteem. But I want to ask you a question. Is there an appeal for oral observation by a judge? There is no forum or no procedure where a person can go into appeal on an oral observation. If, one second, if Honorable Supreme Court had found something illegal against the law or against the rule done by Mr. Ashwini Kumar, why did not the Supreme Court pass strictures against the law minister, or why did he not recommend action against why for violating that particular law? One second, let me finish. Investigation is being monitored by the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court. The status report had to be given on the progress of investigation. Has the law minister asked this investigation officer to change the direction of the investigation? No. What he has said is that some additional information should be added to the.
No, he also asked for deletions.
Sir,
He also asked for
I want
deletions.
to ask you here, sir, let me.
I am responding to him, not to you.
One by one.
Please,
One second.
I just want to clarify here. You are saying that a status report was not changed, but Supreme Court.
Status report.
But Supreme Court has
one second.
admitted that they have changed the heart of the report. And again, earlier Law Minister Ashwini Kumar had told that he was just checking the grammar of CBI report.
The former
I just
Law
want to
Minister
ask
lied.
you, sir.
Is that okay?
Now again, I am coming
Sir,
back to
I'm
you.
just asking
Okay, you asked your question.
I am coming back to you. Why are you angry with? And I am adopting double standards. My request to the Honorable Supreme Court is that the kind of oral observations they make, they certainly make the headlines. They certainly make the sensational breaking news. But they are not a part of the content of the judicial order. Now, where is the judicial order?
But oral observations are part of the court proceedings.
They are.
And see, again through oral observations.
Will you please advise me which forum I can go to appeal for?
No, but again through oral observations, judges also give their mind that okay, I am not satisfied the way CBI has been conducting, and they give their mind, and accordingly they have to conduct. They have already given, and you believe,
would you please advise me under what law and what power Supreme Court is investigating, supervising or monitoring the investigation of the CBI?
No, but sir, on the principle of ministers lying to India, is it okay? Ashwini Kumar earlier said no changes were made, then said grammatical changes were made, then no substantive changes. The Supreme Court, as the gentleman said that the heart of the report was changed. Clearly, the minister lied. Is it okay?
That is why he resigned.
So it's not okay. So you admit he's a liar, because Ashwini Kumar, when he spoke to the public and the press, said he's done nothing wrong.
Well, as far as I know, the fact which have been briefed to me is that the report, the status report, few additions were made. For example, that this policy has been followed since 1993 by successive governments. Does it change the heart of the status report? It doesn't. So therefore, the general perception given by the oral observations of the Supreme Court are, to my mind, misleading.
Sir, on CBI autonomy, CBI Director Mr. Sinha has admitted and accepted that they are what Supreme Court has reprimanded is correct. What do you want to say on this?
Well, I was very surprised when Mr. Ranjit Sinha said, yes, I am a parrot in a cage. I was very surprised.
But sir, he was only stating facts.
Sir, one more question.
If you said if he feels that he's a parrot in a cage, then he should not stay where he is.
He should resign if that's what he thinks.
But can a director CBI be a parrot in cage?
But he feels like that. Maybe because of the way you've created the superstructure around him, that's how he feels.
Then, if he has said, if the Supreme Court says I am a parrot in cage.
No, he also said I am a part of the government, I am a parrot in the cage.
The problem is that my objection to the oral observations made by Supreme Court, where can they be challenged? Supposing tomorrow they say, some disparaging remark is made against the Prime Minister or the President of this country or the Parliament, Rahul, give me a forum or a procedure where I can go
you
into
made
appeal.
that point. You're also saying if Ranjit Sinha feels he's a parrot in a cage, he has no business being the country's CBI
Well,
director.
I was very disappointed by his statement.
If the CBI becomes truly autonomous, will ministers who know that either they themselves or others around them might get into trouble, like we saw in the case of Pawan Bansal, will all these legal eagles ever give real meaningful autonomy to the CBI?
I will take Pawan Bansal's case. Didn't CBI tap the phone of the nephew of Mr. Pawan Bansal? Did they not tap the phone of the principal secretary, private secretary of the minister? Who interfered? Now, tell me, is there an evidence of Mr. Pawan Bansal taking the bribe? Number two. Number three, the fact of the case is, this proposal to post Mr. Mahesh Kumar as the member of electrical was put up to Mr. Pawan Bansal twice, and twice he rejected on the file.
So you are satisfied with the work the CBI is doing?
I'm quite satisfied. I'm quite satisfied with the CBI functioning, but I would like you to also understand that the CBI has to function independently. At the same time, the presiding officers, the supervisory officer, the senior officer of the CBI, if there is something wrong or something wrong is being done, strong action must be taken against all such officers who try to sort of bring in this element of favoritism in any kind of investigation.
So you want the government to be able to interfere in the probe?
No, certainly not. No government should interfere or can interfere in an investigation, even in the present system. Tell me one law.
Okay, this lady has a follow-up question.
The question is still not answered. We are asking about the committee you have formed. We have problem with that. So what are you going to do with that? Are you going to change the ministers? Because we have objection about it. Because we have, so to speak, here, here says, whatever you call, if you don't want to say, listen the correct word, here is here to say that those ministers have some investigation going on in their name, and if these people are made in charge to form that CBI committee, I don't think the good CBI
may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Under the Indian Constitution, in a democratic functioning, does any format or forum apart from legislature has the authority to frame law?
CBI is independent, then can you tell me, or can you tell all of us, how do you manage to keep getting the support of Mayawati as well as Mulayam Singh?
See, Mayawati and Mulayam Singh do not want the BJP to come to power in Delhi, and that is on ideological ground and no other reason.
Yes, Mayawati is the most ideologically committed politician. That's the point, sir. Yes.
So you commented that in the 2009 manifesto of Congress, the Congress was to bring the Lokpal bill. But isn't it very sad that since 1968, none of the parties have been able to bring a Lokpal bill? Because the demand has been since 1960 and none of the parties. So is it that the politicians don't want an ombudsman body over them? They want no regulation or investigation body over them. And my second question will be, sir, you recently mentioned in an interview that the government is accountable to the people and not to the Supreme Court. However, sir, people have been demanding CBI autonomy.
Number one, I was the Chief Minister and there was the institution of Lok Ayog which could investigate against the Chief Minister also. Okay. I had no problem. I functioned as a Chief Minister for 10 years and I can tell you, in spite of the best effort, the BJP has not been able to indict me in even one single case. Number one. Number two, we are not scared of Lokpal. We want Lokpal to come in. But we have to bring all the political parties together because we don't have the mandate. We don't have a clear majority in parliament. So we have to convince. Unfortunately, the BJP outside the parliament agreed on some of the sections, and in the parliament they opposed it. So therefore there has to be a meeting of minds if the Lokpal is to be passed.
As you have commented that Annaji and Arvind Kejriwal are the agent of RSS, and they're getting monetary help from the foreign countries. And you have the proof of it. If you have the proof, where's the proof? Why didn't you give it to the public or to the media?
Two issues you have raised. The fact is that if you see the Anna Hazare movement, it came after the Congress party declared that we want a strong Lokpal bill in the country. Lokpal, a promise of setting up of a Lokpal is in the election manifesto of 2009 by Congress party. Suddenly Mr. Arvind Kejriwal and Mr. Anna Hazare came in. In February 2011, there is an organization called Vivekanand International Foundation, which is the think tank of the BJP and the Sangh activists. I came to know about this. There was this meeting. At that time, if you remember, there were strong allegations of involvement of some of the Sangh activists in terror activities. So by and large, they wanted to divert the mind of the people from Sangh's involvement in terror activities to corruption. So this discussion took place in Vivekanand Foundation in the last week of February, and they drew up a plan that they have to put someone who's not in politics, in civil society, to come forward to this. And that is why, if you see Baba Anna Hazare, Baba Ramdev, Shri Ravi Shankar Maharaj, and they had a meeting in Hardwar which was attended by Mr. Govindacharya ji. I came to know about it. And the whole movement of Anna Hazare and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal initially was supported by this RSS and the BJP. You spoke about foreign donations to Arvind Kejriwal. India Against Corruption is an NGO which has been set up by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, and it has received donations from Ford Foundation and other. Listen to me. And these questions, I had put up about more than 20 questions to Arvind Kejriwal. Why did he not answer those questions?
Well, he always answered the question. I don't think you're right. If you didn't get the answers, please give us the questions and we'll find out whether you got the answers or not.
What do you have to say about 1984? 3,000, more than 3,006 were massacred, and no justice, no FIR was filed. And then you say the police is independent and CBI is independent.
It's not correct that no FIR was registered. It is not correct that no case went to the court. The FIRs were registered. The cases went to the court, and through due process of law, it has been decided. I know it's very sad. It's extremely sad, and we are extremely sorry for that.
How can you term Mr. Modi as communal?
Because 1 second. Because it was state sponsored. Mr. Chief Minister, there's enough evidence to say that the Chief Minister and the ministers there did encourage these things to happen and stop the police to take action.
And the lady in the pink wants to ask the next question.
Your party, Congress party, promote Rahul Gandhi as a would-be Prime Minister. Agree? But he is not agreed because he knows his incapabilities. But you are his guru. You are his guru. Why? How do you judge yourself to be Prime Minister? You are a seasoned politician. Why don't you think yourself to be Prime Minister?
Well, you are being very complimentary. Thank you very much. Mr. Rahul Gandhi has never said he doesn't want to be a Prime Minister. But he is a very intense person, and he prepares his ground firmly and in great detail. Number two, I am not his guru. I am not his mentor. He has his own mind. This is a false perception which has been built around me. As far as I am concerned, I have been in power in Madhya Pradesh for 10 long years as Chief Minister. So, power doesn't attract me anymore. What is more important for me is to build up Congress party to fight the challenge of the right-wing forces in this country, the communal forces in this country. That is my political challenge. Power is not an issue with me.
You spoke about the dual power structure, and you said it's a failure. And you might say that you're not a mentor of Rahul Gandhi, but we all know that you babysit Rahul Gandhi. So what are you trying to hint at when you say that Rahul Gandhi, when he becomes when UPA 3 comes, He shouldn't appoint some other person as a prime minister. So what are you trying to hint at? Because you're being the babysitter, you know.
No, I strongly feel that this perception which has been created.
Why does everybody think like that? There must be some reason. There can't be any smoke unless there's fire.
This is what I'm saying. This the strong media hype in this country. In the last few years, Rahul, you have seen how the channels have grown in this country. We have the highest number of channels, news channels running in the world. So therefore, this 24/7, this kind of a perception being created that there are dual power center is something which has caught the imagination of the people. The fact is, there is no dual power center, but the fact remains that we would like to see Mr. Rahul Gandhi leading the government when the time comes, but let him choose his own timing rather
No,
than
but that lady had an
people pushing.
important question. She says she doesn't believe, and a lot of people share that Rahul is capable of leading India.
Well, that given a chance, given opportunity, he'll prove himself.
Okay.
Why surname has been the only eligibility criteria to be the Congress High Command? Why we are always following a surname Gandhi to be the High Command of Congress? Why not any other person, any senior member of Congress can be the High Command?
No, you can join Congress
But
party
why
and fight election.
So why you're pushing Rahul Gandhi to be the Prime Minister? Why not the other leaders come in front and say give them a chance?
Because I strongly feel personally that he is the right person.
So you said Rahul Gandhi will choose the time of him becoming the Prime Minister. And 2 days back, the Prime Minister has gone and submitted his nomination for Rajya Sabha. So that means he'll be 6 years more in Parliament. So are you ruling out the Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh as the next Prime Minister?
No, certainly
in
not.
2014?
Certainly not. It depends on the people of this country. If they give us the mandate to rule another 5 years, then the newly elected members of Parliament shall choose their leader who would be the Prime Minister.
Okay.
Who would you choose, sir?
Huh?
Who would you choose?
If I am elected as a member of Parliament, I will cast my vote
secretly
to whomever I want to.
I'm coming to a little bit of economics actually.
Go ahead.
If you look at the performance of the states, the best performing states, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, have been non-Congress ruled states. What do you think explains this? Is it just communalism which is an issue, or is it the economic performance?
I would like to correct you, sir. You are missing out Maharashtra, Haryana, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala, which are Congress ruled states. If you see the highest FDI in the country, Maharashtra. If you see the highest per capita income, Delhi and Haryana. Gujarat, if you see, the economic indicators have not improved during the Mr. Narendra Modi's tenure. Gujarat has always had double-digit growth even in the 90s. Even in the 90s and even before Mr. Narendra Modi became the Chief Minister. But if you see the Human Development Index of Gujarat, it is worsening. There are more malnourished children in Gujarat than they were there earlier. Again, he has been able to sort of influence heavy investment in PR work. He has employed WAPCO International, which is a foreign PR company, by investing $300 million of hard-earned Gujarat taxpayers' money. Gujarat has got the highest budget for publicity and public relation. At the same time, it is not a fact that the Congress ruled states are not doing well.
So, no, your own state, Madhya Pradesh, yes. This year happens to be in terms of per capita GDP, in terms of the rate of growth in the GDP, is the highest performing state. I'm not talking about Narendra Modi. I mean, we may have different opinion on the...
Even in Madhya Pradesh, sir,
yep,
he is continuing the policies which I adopted during my tenure. It's an old saying that someone plants the tree and someone else takes the fruit.
And will you be returning to take the fruits once they're on the tree?
Well, I'm not going back to the state, but probably Congress party would, certainly.
Okay.
Digvijay ji, I'm just asking you a very simple question, for which I would expect a very straightforward answer.
Sure.
What is the Congress's answer to Narendra Modi in one line?
We don't take him seriously.
Okay, one second. Yes.
Digvijay ji, Congress has ruled for almost 50 years after independence, and for the last 9 years you have been continuously ruling.
Yes.
How much time you really need to make this country developed? You need another term and another term and another term. How many years you really need?
Sir, if you see the economic status of India in 1947, and if you see the economic status of India in 2013, don't you find the difference? Don't you find the difference in the rural areas? Don't you see the difference in the I would say fields of education, health, prosperity in India?
Okay, that gentleman there. One second. Yes, please.
Sir, as in this country, I feel and there are two sets of law. As you have stated in one of the interview with Karan Thapar, that you have the ample of evidence against the son-in-law of Bajpayee and Pratibha Advani, and yet you haven't taken any action. And it is, and you said that Kiki, we have on like a secret pact. You wash my back and I wash your back, and that is why you are not going to take the action.
The government must have sufficient amount of evidence to initiate proceedings against a person. Okay. Like the kind of perception which people have against supposing a relation of A, B, C. There's a perception. But the government has to take action against those people.
No, but that's not what you said.
Sir, that's
you
what
didn't
you
say there was
said.
perception. You said, "Hamare paas saboot hai." We have evidence of the fact that these people also engaged in corruption. If they start digging out corruption in our cases, we can also dig out corruption in their cases.
It was not
a direct threat.
You see, the point I'm trying to make is that I am not a part of the government. At the same time, we follow certain ethics. We don't bring issues of relations of A, B, C, D, who are to be to bring them for mudslinging. If there is a case, the government must act.
No, but you said there's evidence.
Of India, and as far as if you are a responsible citizen of India and you know that as you have stated in the interview that you have the ample of evidence, then you should have raised the voice. In spite of being someone else's party, you should have raised the voice.
You can say that, but there are these perceptions also one has to look at.
But you never referred to a perception. You spoke of evidence, Digvijay.
We can assume that Congress is the A party and B party is the BJP of Congress. BJP is the B party of the Congress.
Why should there be these ethics?
You are just making
why should there be these ethics? Why should there be ethics where you don't want to?
The point I'm trying to make is, if there is evidence, the law will take its own course.
Digvijay, your self-imposed political exile is due to end this year or probably next year. So do you think you regret that decision 1 year down the line, as your party is set to lose in Madhya Pradesh and at the center?
Well, I think you are prejudging the issue. Number one, yes, I had taken this that I will not contest for next 10 years, and that thing is coming to an end in November 2030. Now, as far as I am concerned, I have been in Madhya Pradesh politics for more than 30 years. And I have been a chief minister for 10 years, state congress president for 7 years, a minister in the state government for 5 years. So I would like the others to now come in. As far as I am concerned, I am open to fighting a Lok Sabha election, or I am open also to come in the upper house. But that is of course a decision of my Congress party. But as far as I am concerned, I have enjoyed my tenure as a General Secretary of the All India Congress Committee, because it has given me the opportunity to understand India.
And that qualifies you to be a good, experienced Prime Minister.
Well, Rahul, let me tell you one thing. See, the Congress party will decide its Prime Minister on the basis of the mandate that we get in 2014. The members of parliament shall meet and decide on the Prime Ministership.
The members of parliament will meet and leave it to the High Command to decide what the High Command wants the party to do.
Yes, yes. This is usually done, but at the same time, don't forget that in Karnataka, the issue was decided by the MLAs themselves and High Command agreed. And this always happens in all such cases.
Let's debate. Okay, yes.
Sir, what are the two biggest blunders of the UPA government? Please be honest.
Two
biggest blunders of the UPA government. Be honest.
Yes, I'm being honest. Blunder number one, to allow the minister in charge of IT and communication that time to allot licenses at the same policy which was there earlier. Number one. Number two was the appointment of the CAG who made these reports which were not based on facts.
But that's unfair. Vinod Rai has done a good job. He's dug out stuff you might not like. But Vinod Rai, do you think he's an honest officer?
Listen to me. Let me prove my point. Yes. 1,72,000 crores. He has brought out this figure. Was it on facts? No. It was not on facts, ma'am.
Are you accusing him of dishonesty?
No, I'm accusing him of misleading the people. Number one. Number two. Coal allocation of coal blocks, madam. He said 1,80,000 crores lost when there was no law, no rule in this country for auction of the coal blocks. How did he come with the figure 1,80,000 rupees? One second. Number three, the CAG has to submit his report to the parliament. Why was consistently the reports of the CAG was first leaked to the press and then went to the parliament? Is it not the responsibility of the CAG to maintain secrecy in his office?
So you just mentioned the two biggest blunders. What have been the two major failures of your government, which is more important to the country?
Well,
blunders harm the party or the government. Failures harm the nation.
One is we've not been able to bring in the Lokpal bill. Although I have the firm opinion that simply bringing the Lokpal bill will not be enough to sort of remove corruption. At the same time, this will certainly bring certain kind of transparency in the system. Number two, I think we have not been able to keep the economic pace going because of certain reasons. Maybe by the late environmental clearances or some kind of glitches in the sanctioning of the project, which has slowed down our progress. So therefore, I think these are the two things which we will look at.
Okay, this lady here.
So you have been criticizing and commenting on everyone from Modi to Anna Hazare. Now that your exile is coming to an end, what are you planning to do? Why don't you show us what an ideal politician should be so that we could follow your steps and be an ideal politician where nobody could comment or criticize us?
Well, I've been in politics for the last 43 years. What is your age?
Sir, I'm 22.
Yeah, there you are. So last 43 years I've been in politics. And believe me, I have tried to be as honest as possible. And that is why...
What is as honest as possible?
As honest as possible. That's a fact. Because of which...
Is there any extent to which honesty
I'm coming to that. In spite of the fact that there's been a BJP government in Madhya Pradesh the last 10 years, and I've been criticizing Sangh and the BJP activists to a great extent, which has... they have tried their best to find anything against me, but yet till now, touch wood, God has been with me.
No, but explain this. I'm very curious.
Well, I've been out of any controversy or any corruption charge as such. And
No, one second. I have a question, sir. What does... No, one second. No, I'm sorry. One second.
Let me finish. So, I've been out of this controversy for a long time. So,
create controversy.
But
your comments surely create controversy.
But whatever I've said, I've been proved right.
Whatever I've said. Digvijay ji, what does as honest as possible mean?
As honest,
I'm completely confused.
As honest as political person in a democracy can be.
So you're saying no person who's in politics in India's democracy can be fully honest?
The point I'm trying to make is, that in any democracy, we have to function within the parameters of the democratic format of that country. I have been in politics for the last 43 years and I'm open to all scrutiny. I was the only chief minister in the country who used to submit my detailed list of assets, movable, immovable, in every assembly.
So you're individually honest, institutionally dishonest. Is that what you say?
Neither institutionally nor individually I am dishonest. I've been honest in my functions, in my behavior and in my statements.
Okay, Digvijaya Singh, for joining us on the Right to Be Heard Town Hall. Thank you very much. You've said several things. People will make what they will of this. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
on the
Rahul.
Right to Be
And thank
Heard.
you to all.
Thank you.